Wonder Woman and her team of magic users may have been able to defeat the Lords of Fate, but now they are unsure of how to proceed next. What'll happen? Well, let's hop in the pages of Justice League Dark issue number 13 and find out for ourselves, shall we? Alrighty then, so as we begin the book, do you like origin stories? Because I swear this comic is about 80% origin stories. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it's been a long time since we've seen the origins of Kent Nelson. You see, as a boy, Kent's father, Sven Nelson, took him on an expedition to Egypt because, well, he was an archaeologist, but not one of those cool Indiana Jones style archaeologists. I'm talking one of the lame ones, like I don't actually know any real world archaeologists, only the fictional ones, sorry. Kent's father would die after a switch was pulled that ended up filling the chamber with gas. This was ultimately the work of Nabu, who had a human form back at this point, much as he did when the character was first created. They do, however, omit the original part from the Golden Age about Nabu being from some sort of alien planet, but they do keep the part where Nabu in human form takes Kent Nelson under his wing, or kidnaps him, depending on how you want to look at it. Nabu also took young Kent under his wing and taught him all the mystical magical arts that he would come to use as an adult. In fact, Kent grew up into an adult in record time under Nabu's tutelage, like literally he made a man out of him. Before eventually Nabu just kind of became a helmet and Kent started wearing him around everywhere he went. Man, ain't Golden Age comics weird and grand. Now in the present, Wonder Woman and the rest of the team wonder, now that the Lords of Order have been defeated, who will become the new Dr. Fate. Kent Nelson sure as hell doesn't want to do it. He hasn't been able to actually sway Nabu in a long time, and even if he wasn't, he's too old now. He's lost his wife. He's lost way too much. Khalid doesn't much want to do it either. He was Dr. Fate for maybe a minute. No one even remembers that happened or that he had a solo title. Ooh, that's rough, bro. Kent and Khalid do agree, though, to stay on. After all, this Justice League of the Dark only has one actual sorcerer on it, and they could probably use all the help they could get if they ever hope to defeat the other kind. And should a new, better candidate show itself, it would probably be nice if Kent could give the okay and the blessing. Now, believe it or not, that's just the first of what will end up being 3 stories, as this is something of an anthology. From there, we transition on over to the Oblivion Bar, where Constantine is drinking himself stupid. Oh wow, must be a day that ends in Y. Zatanna comes to pump him for information, and it's a very unhappy conversation. Zatanna now knows that Constantine and her father had conspired before his death to manipulate the magical community, including Zatanna herself. So yeah, she's not a very happy magic camper right about now. Constantine wants to tell her the truth, but he literally can't. You see, before Zatara's untimely death, he actually whammy-zammied some magic onto Constantine, so he literally couldn't spill his guts about all the string pulling he had been doing behind the scenes. Instead, though, Constantine decides to pivot and deflect by once again regaling Zatanna with his origin story. Stop me if you've heard this one before, and also stop to appreciate this art that looks like it was actually drawn for Vertigo back in the day. So yeah, Constantine was in a band called Mucus Membrane. They screwed around with back alley dark magics a little bit before eventually they started working for a guy named Logue, who was a club owner but also a major Satanist, who was sick enough to use his actual daughter Astra in rituals. One night he actually managed to summon a terrifying demon, and Constantine was only able to defeat it by summoning an even worse demon in Nergal. Astra's soul ended up getting trapped in hell, and Constantine blamed himself, having a bit of a mental breakdown and getting locked up in the Raven Scar Asylum. That's where Zatanna's father, Zatara, actually found him and recruited him for all this backroom evil magic shenanigans. Zatanna says that she's not quite ready to sever all ties with Constantine just yet. It's partly his fault. Her father is trapped in some hellish other dimension right now, and he's going to help her set things right, but after that, she never wants to see him again. And, oh yeah, this is technically a Year of the Villain affiliated story too. Apex Lex goes to Circe and says, hey, you know what, I've been watching everything you've been doing with this Justice League of the Dark. That's cool and everything. But what if I gave you a bunch of money to start an Injustice League Dark? Wouldn't that just be super dope and awesome? Oh, you were gonna do that anyway? Killer as the comic ends. And so that was Justice League Dark issue number 13, everybody, and overall it was fine, just fine. As I said before, 80% of this comic is just reiterating origin stories that chances are if you're reading a book called Justice League Dark, you already know. These origin stories for Constantine and Dr. Fate are also pretty much word for word as we know them, making me wonder if they weren't weren't going to recontextualize it or add some new wrinkles, what was even the point of retelling them? Neither of these stories are bad, and the Constantine story, as I said, had a rather interesting art thing going on for it, but ultimately I just can't say that there was a lot new here to offer. If this is the first time you're hearing these stories, though, this isn't a bad place to hear them, I guess. Overall, I'd give this a 6.5 out of 10, though. Hey there, everyone. It's Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out some of these other videos available from my channel. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Joel, so you're always up to speed on what I'm doing next. And hey, if you're feeling in a supportive mood, why not check out my Patreon page? Patrons get exclusive access to videos and content before anyone else, and you can do so for as little as $1 a month. And, oh, yeah, the jacket, was a gift, actually. Someone bought it for me off my Amazon wish list, which I also have, and you can also find linked down in the description. Didn't think anyone would actually buy me a Slytherin jacket. Put it mostly on there for a laugh. But hey, it's the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter, so I figured might as well wear it, show it off, and, you know, thank the person who bought it for me. So, until we meet again, everyone, bye-bye.